science of adverse childhood experiences really tells us how a lot of these experiences that we have as young kids, physically, emotionally, socially, really informs and influences our own mental health experiences, resilience, how we go about life. But sadly, globally, this has been generally a super understudied field.
What does childhood adverse experiences and childhood trauma, what does it do when people grow up or even during the process of growing up? Know that our median age is something like 21 years. That means half of our population is under 20 years old. We need to really understand how can we make their environment safe and secure so that they thrive in the communities.
When we talk about adverse childhood experiences, we're talking about potentially traumatic and difficult situations that people face when they're young and as they're growing up. So examples of these may be physical and emotional abuse, neglect, parental separation, or even growing up in a household where they have substance abuse. And internationally, research has shown that adverse childhood experiences can significantly impact the mental health of a person and thereby contributing to depression, anxiety, bullying, and other challenges. We found that the more adversities a young person faced, the higher the risk of mental health challenges. We found that greater bullying exposure was also significantly related with increased ACE scores. We did find that boys were particularly vulnerable to bullying when they had higher adverse childhood experiences. These findings have also shown us that the adverse childhood experiences affect boys and girls very differently. And then finally, early detection and intervention is key.
We recommend several things. Number one, there needs to be an introduction of trauma-informed care in schools, but also increased access for school-based mental health support program. In terms of mental health access, one strategy will be to integrate mental health service in the school system, but also community centers. There's need for researchers, the health experts, but also the community to come together to build SCEs measures that better fit the Kenyan context.
What one critical support is missing for young people facing adverse childhood experiences? What is this one thing that can be done that would have the biggest impact?
I remember the action that the teachers took was admonishing me, and it was labeled indiscipline, yet it was me feeling like I don't want to be here because I'm not sure my home is safe for the people that have remained at home. But no one seemed to understand that, and everyone seemed to deem it indiscipline, and I would get punished. I feel like teachers need to be equipped to deal with such cases and to understand that it does not necessarily double down to indiscipline all the time.
If we can develop a policy that will bring all these things together, bring all these players together, Ministry of Health, the partners who can be able to support academia, university, everybody else of interest in this together so that we can be able now to address basing on our different specialties.
What is this one thing that we can track in 6 months and say Ministry of Health is doing something about this?
In the next 6 months, we expect that the national guidelines on school mental health will be up and running. We have the first draft, and we have addressed most of those issues. We expect that once the document is up and running, we'll have a concerted effort of all players dealing with mental health in schools, and they can be guided on what to do.
Most of our students come from an informal setup. A lot of them go through a lot of abuse, both emotional and physical. I've also seen a lot of neglect. The parents are unavailable. And what we have done as a community in the school is to create a system where students feel they are safe. So a teacher will have maybe 15 to 20 students, and you take them now as a parent and you try now to work with them, understand where they are coming from. We have also worked with peer counselors who have been trained. We are able to identify, for example, if there are issues that we have not been able to identify as teachers, because at their level, the peers are able to talk.
What one thing would you recommend that people can pick and implement in the community?
One community intervention will be awareness, like deep level community awareness, the home, in the school, and everywhere else. And as we detect, we create awareness, and then the intervention comes. When you talk about intervention, it has to be low cost. If you're talking about community interventions, then it has to be where those kids are. So where are our children? They're in school. And what Shamiri has done is being able to meet those children where they spend their time the most.